What's going on, fellas? I've got here a 2007 F150, and I'm going to use this truck to point out to you a few crucial things about the starting system. I'm going to point out to you the starter relay and the fuses involved in starting. Right now we're over here at the ignition switch, and I'll go ahead and point out to you how that part of the circuit works. So there's two wires here for us to be interested in checking out. Now the first one is going to be the light green violet wire. That is going to be the wire. It's a thicker wire located right here, and you should be seeing power coming in through that wire constantly. So that is a fused wire, fuse number 102, and I'll point that out to you in a second. So there's constant power at that green purple wire there. Now when you turn the key to the start position, the ignition switch connects this wire, the green purple, to the red blue wire. So that red blue wire gets hot only when you're trying to start the car. The voltage from there goes to your neutral safety switch, which is on the side of the transmission. And if you're in park or neutral and the switch is working, it will continue to send that power all the way to the starter relay. So now we're going to head on over to the other side of the truck, where I'll point out to you the location of the starter relay and the two fuses over there. So coming in on the passenger side here, we're going to get to the fuses and the relays here. They're located behind this trim piece, which you remove by pulling like that. That's going to reveal the box that covers the central junction, and you can remove it by putting a flathead screwdriver down right here and then just prying up like that. So with the cover removed, I'll first point out to you the two fuses. So the first one for us to look at is going to be fuse 102, and the role of that fuse is to provide power to the ignition switch. So that's going to be this J-case fuse right there. So that blue fuse I just pulled out, this is what sends power to your ignition switch. Now there's another fuse, which is going to be fuse 101, that's on the other side, and that's going to be this 30 amp J-case fuse. This provides power to the starter solenoid when your starter relay is engaged. So the starter relay is going to be this relay right here. And you can just pull it out, wiggle it a little bit, it will come right out. And you can swap it with another relay. Any of these other relays would be good candidates to swap in. Now, looking at the pins, I'll go ahead and point out to you what each pin does. The most interesting pin is going to be pin 87. So that's going to be the pin at the very top. If you provide power directly to that pin, it will send power to your starter and engage the starter. Now the pin at the bottom, that receives power from the fuse 101, which is that 30 amp fuse. So if this fuse is intact, you should always see power at that bottom pin. Now there are two other pins that their purpose is to trigger the relay. Pin number 86, that's going to be that pin right there. That pin gets energized when you turn the key to the start position, provided that your ignition switch is working and the neutral safety switch is working. And this pin actually gets a ground from the computer module, from the engine control module. So you should see a ground there, you should see a power there if your switch is working and the safety switch is working. Constant power there, and that goes to the starter. So yeah, I hope this was helpful for you guys in troubleshooting the starter on your F150. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions, or more importantly, if you've got any advice about troubleshooting the starter.